One unexpected bill, one job loss, one medical emergency. That is all it takes to destroy years of financial progress in a single week. Most people are one crisis away from starting over, not because they do not work hard, but because they never built the one financial tool that stops a crisis from becoming a catastrophe. That tool is an emergency fund, and today we are going to build one from zero, all the way to $10,000, not someday, not when you earn more, starting with whatever you have right now. By the end of this video, you will have a complete step-by-step system to build your emergency fund faster than you think is possible. Drop this in the comments if you are starting from zero right now, 0 to 10,000. Let's go. Before we build it, we need to understand why most people never do. It is not because they cannot afford it. It is because they have never made it a priority. Most people save what is left over after spending. The problem is that after spending, nothing is left over. They are not bad with money. They are operating with the wrong system. The second reason people never build an emergency fund is that $10,000 feels impossible when you are starting from zero. It feels like a mountain. So they never take the first step. But $10,000 is not one big decision. It is hundreds of small decisions made consistently over time. The third reason is that emergencies are invisible until they arrive. When life is going well, an emergency fund feels unnecessary. When the emergency comes, it is too late to build one. The time to build a financial safety net is before you need it, not during the fall. An emergency fund is not savings for a vacation. It is not money set aside for a new phone or a car upgrade. An emergency fund is a dedicated pool of money that exists for one purpose only: to absorb unexpected financial shocks without destroying your life. Job loss, medical bills, car breakdown, sudden home repair, family crisis. These are not rare events. They are inevitable events. Every person alive will face multiple financial emergencies in their lifetime. The question is not whether an emergency will come. The question is whether you will be ready when it does. Without an emergency fund, every crisis forces you into debt. You borrow to survive. The debt creates new financial pressure. That pressure creates more vulnerability, and the cycle deepens. With an emergency fund, a crisis is a temporary inconvenience. You handle it, you recover, you move forward. That is the difference between financial fragility and financial resilience. And it starts with $10,000. Drop this in the comments. I am building my safety net. Why $10,000 specifically? Financial experts generally recommend 3 to 6 months of living expenses as an emergency fund. For most people, that range falls between $5,000 and $15,000. $10,000 is the sweet spot. It covers 3 to 4 months of basic expenses for most households. It absorbs the most common financial emergencies, job loss, medical costs, car and home repairs, without requiring you to go into debt. It is also a psychologically powerful number. Reaching $10,000 in savings changes how you feel about money. It changes how you make decisions. It changes your relationship with risk. You stop making desperate decisions. You stop accepting bad deals because you need money now. You gain the ability to wait for better opportunities. $10,000 does not make you wealthy, but it makes you unbreakable. The first step is not to save money. The first step is to see your money clearly. Most people have no accurate picture of where their money goes every month. They know roughly what they earn. They have no idea what they actually spend. Your starting number is this. Take your monthly income and subtract your monthly fixed expenses: rent, utilities, transport, food, debt payments. Whatever remains is your potential savings. Write that number down, even if it is small. Even if it is $50, that number is your starting point. If the number is 0 or negative, you do not have a savings problem. You have an expense problem, and we will address that in step 3. But first, you need to see the number. Most people avoid looking because they are afraid of what they will find. Do not be afraid. The number does not judge you. It just tells you where to start. Step 2 is simple but critical. Open a separate savings account specifically for your emergency fund. Not the same account where your salary arrives. Not the same account you use for daily spending. A completely separate account. Here is why this matters. Money that sits in your main account does not feel like savings. It feels like available funds. And available funds get spent. A separate account creates a psychological barrier. The money is still yours, but it requires a deliberate action to access it. That friction is enough to stop impulsive spending. If possible, open a high-yield savings account. In many countries, these accounts pay 2 to 5% interest on your balance. Your emergency fund earns money while it sits there. Name the account. Call it emergency fund or safety net or untouchable. The The name matters. It reminds you every time you see it what the money is for. This account has one rule. The money only leaves for a genuine emergency, not a sale, not a want. A genuine emergency. Building a $10,000 emergency fund on a tight income requires finding money that is already leaving your life without you noticing. These are the leaks: subscriptions you forgot about, food you threw away, convenience purchases that added up, interest payments on small debts. Audit your last 30 days of spending. Go through every transaction. Categorize each one, necessary or unnecessary. You will find money. Everyone does, because everyone has leaks they are unaware of. The average person discovers between $50 and $200 per month in spending they do not remember making and do not miss when it stops. Cancel the subscriptions you do not use. Stop the automatic renewals you forgot about. Cook at home 3 more nights per week. Drive instead of ordering delivery. These cuts are not permanent suffering. They are temporary redirects. You are not removing money from your life. You are redirecting it from leaks into your emergency fund. Every leak you close is a deposit you never had to earn. Drop this in the comments. I am closing the leaks. Step 4 is the most powerful step in this entire system. Automate your savings. Set up an automatic transfer from your main account to your emergency fund account on the same day your salary arrives. Even if it is only $20, even if it is $50, the amount matters less than the automation. Here's why automation works when willpower fails. Willpower is a limited resource. Every decision you make in a day depletes it slightly. By the end of the day, your ability to make disciplined financial decisions is lower than it was in the morning. Automation removes the decision entirely. The money moves before you see it, before you spend it, before your brain registers it as available. Pay yourself first, not after rent, not after food, not after everything else. First. This single habit, paying yourself first automatically, is the foundation of every successful saving story. It is not complicated, it is just consistent. Automation builds the foundation, but if you want to reach $10,000 faster, you need acceleration strategies. The first acceleration strategy is the windfall rule. Every time unexpected money arrives, a bonus, a tax refund, a cash gift, overtime pay, send at least 50% of it directly to your emergency fund before you spend any of it. Most people spend windfalls immediately. That is why they stay exactly where they are financially despite occasional good luck. The second strategy is the raise redirect. Every time your income increases, redirect the entire increase to your emergency fund until it is fully funded. You lived without that extra money before the raise. You can continue to live without it until your safety net is built. The third strategy is the weekly challenge. Start with saving $1 in week 1, $2 in week 2, $3 in week 3. By week 52, you will have saved $1,378. Small amounts compounded by consistency produce real results. The fourth strategy is the sell and save method. Look around your home. What do you own that you do not use? Electronics, clothes, furniture, books, sports equipment? Sell them. Every item you sell converts a depreciating asset into emergency fund capital. $100 here, $200 there. It adds up faster than you expect. $10,000 is the destination, but the journey needs milestones to keep you motivated. Milestone 1, $1,000. This is your first month of basic expenses covered. It is the most important milestone because it proves the system works. Reaching $1,000 changes your psychology. You stop feeling financially fragile. Milestone 2, $2,500. 3 months of minimal expenses covered. At this point, an unexpected bill no longer triggers a crisis. It triggers a withdrawal and a rebuild plan. Milestone 3, $5,000. This is halfway. Half of your emergency fund exists. The compounding of your savings habit starts to feel real. Your automated contributions feel effortless because the evidence of their power is visible. Milestone 4, $7,500. You are 3/4 of the way there. Most financial emergencies the average person faces cost less than this amount. You are already protected against the majority of crises you will ever face. Milestone 5, $10,000. You are done. Your emergency fund is fully funded. From this point, every dollar you are sending to your emergency fund can be redirected to investments, wealth building, and financial freedom. Celebrate each milestone. Not with spending, with acknowledgement. You built something most people never build. That deserves recognition. At some point, you will use your emergency fund. That is what it is for. When that happens, do not panic. Do not feel like you failed. You did not fail. You succeeded. The fund worked exactly as designed. The moment the emergency is resolved, restart the rebuild immediately. Resume your automated contributions. Apply any available extra income. Rebuild to the full $10,000 as quickly as possible. Treat the rebuild as urgent as the original build, because you are now exposed again until it is fully restored. This is the discipline that separates people who are permanently financially resilient from people who only experience temporary stability. Build it, protect it, use it when needed, Rebuild it immediately. Repeat for life. $10,000 is not a number that changes everything, but it changes one thing, and that one thing changes everything else. It changes how you respond to crisis. Instead of panic, you have a plan. Instead of debt, you have a fund. Instead of desperation, you have options. And options are the beginning of financial freedom. You do not need a high income to build this. You need a system. You now have one. Step 1. Find your starting number. Step 2. Open a separate account. Step 3. Cut the leaks. Step 4. Automate the savings. Step 5. Accelerate with windfalls, raises, and selling. Start today. Not Monday, not next month. Today. If this video gave you a system you can actually use, subscribe. Every video on this channel is designed to move you one step closer to financial freedom. And before you go, drop your current emergency fund balance in the comments. 0, 100, 1,000, halfway there. Be honest. I read every comment. I will see you in the next video.